of legends, welcome back to another episode of the Vodcast. Vodcast. We talked last week about the meet that we didn't go to.
So last week we talked about the scene, the car scene in the UK, and how we'd been out of it for a little while, hadn't we?
A long while, really.
Well, yeah, we've been out of it for a long while. And as it so happens, I think it was the week after. Yeah, it was the week after we recorded it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we.
We recorded it at the weekend,
yeah.
and then on the Wednesday night we went to the Dub Club.
Yeah.
So there was a show local to us at Fargo Village, Coventry, hosted by.
Call it a show or a meet?
Well, more of a meet, wasn't it? It was more of a meet, hosted by Dub Club, which is, I guess, is it a local club?
I think they are. Yeah, I think they are
quite local.
I think they started actually in Nuneaton Way, and it's kind of moved to Coventry.
Yeah.
But they obviously started off, I believe, as a dub club on VW, and it's grown arms and legs.
Yeah, it definitely has. So we went to that, and it kind of feeds into what we were talking about on the previous week's VOD on the car scene, and it definitely has changed.
Yeah, it has, but at the same time, it almost hasn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we went there and there were some really cool cars there. And check out our Instagram, MGM_motors with a Z, because all the content's all the content's been posted there. And, you know, there were cars that... We talked last week about how the car scene now isn't a build. You don't do a build, you slap some wheels and suspension on it and call it a day.
Yeah.
But there were some builds there.
There really was.
And the real obscure left field one that I really liked, and you did as well. Absolutely. Was a Passat CC, which you don't see many of anyway, of the Passat CC. No. I don't think they sold huge numbers. But it's called a Lion body kit, but it in all intents and purposes, it looked like Liberty Walk.
Liberty Walk-esque.
On airline, on deep dish wheels. Yeah. And it just looked really cool. You know, that's a build. That is a build.
Yeah, it was a proper build.
There were a couple of 4-door Skylines there, which were quite cool.
Yes.
And I tell you, some of the cars that were there as well were probably cars that we, for want of a better phrase, turned our noses up at when we went to that meet. Because when we first pulled in, we parked up. There were quite a few little Lupos and Polos coming in, weren't there?
To be fair, I took a fair few photos, and two of the best photos I took of the night, in my opinion,
Polo
was the Polo, and I'll put the two pictures up because I just think lights capture. So the car looked cool, and I think for me that was probably one of my favourite cars that I seen there. And like you say, when we went to that show by us in the meet and all that meet, there were Polos, Lupos, and we
should have stopped and had a walk around.
We said that,
should have. And actually, I saw that they had a last minute meet on Saturday, I think, that they suddenly decided, because the weather was nice, wasn't it? Saturday, they had a last minute meet that they apparently had quite a good turnout to. So I think now that the weather's getting nice again, we'll definitely attend that again to see what else is there. But what it kind of did remind me of was actually, maybe the scene hasn't changed so much. Maybe it's evolved and there are other things that are done now from where it was. Like, really, when we were in the scene, Air Ride
wasn't a thing.
Air Ride, when you heard about Air Ride, you would associate it with the American
lowriders,
the
bouncings, but nothing like
that over here, really.
Tucked and stanced as it is over here. No.
So when you looked at some of the cars there, some of the cool cars I saw there, DC2 Integra.
Yeah, which was stock.
Which was stock.
It was bone stock.
Well, I think it was lowered, to be fair. I think it was lowered. But other than that, I think it was pretty stock. There were E30, there was a nice
really
E30
nice E30, again on air ride.
On BBS wheels, on air ride. There was, like I said, a couple of Skylines.
The E-Class Merc.
That E-Class, old school E-Class Merc.
Real
old school Toyota that I don't know the name of.
It was bigger than a Sorai. It was a proper old school. Yeah, it was real cool.
Probably like 70s, early 80s or something.
Yeah, I would say so.
What else was there? A couple of 36s, 46s from the Beamer world.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing I think that's changed, because when you say the word dub, originally
you think
Volkswagen,
group,
Volkswagen Audi group. And I know that this year Ultimate Dubs, which was on in Telford, was one of the first shows of the year.
Yeah.
That had loads of beamers there. So I think it has evolved, and dub just almost means European.
Yeah, I think
German.
I think you're probably right. Or it just means absolutely dropped on its oil side.
Yeah, possibly.
Because there were some, obviously there were air ride, but they were super low, super low. To the point the lad whose E30 it was said, and we're talking this car when it's dropped, when the air ride's dropped, it's 10 mil, maybe 15 mil off the deck, and he wanted it lower.
Yeah,
like I don't think it can go any lower.
Yeah,
but you know, I guess that's the look
that's the scene, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's what was interesting was seeing the various generations of cars that were there.
Never
cars that were from the scene when we were there previously.
But never mind the generation of cars, the generations of people. There was
absolutely.
There was like 18, 19
there was an old boy
right the way up to the old boy that we were speaking
to,
and it's like, and I don't think that was ever a thing back in the day. I never picked up on it. It was more a certain age group.
Yeah,
I think it was more sort of
I think
18 to
I think
late 20s.
The older people that came to the cruises were the journalists from Max Power.
Yeah, I think
that was pretty much it.
Right. You just didn't see it so much.
No.
Whereas, like you say,
that was an organised. It's a show / meet because it is. You do have to book in.
You have to book in.
You can't just turn up.
It's a small regular show.
Yeah.
Or it's an organised meet.
Yeah, whichever way you want to call it. But it was really good that going there.
Well organised.
We probably should have got some food and stuff when we were there rather than leaving it till far too late. But yeah, overall it was a good night out, and we both came away from that saying, I don't think we want to go every week because I think
it's one we'll do once a month. Isn't
it? I think if we go, the problem is if you go every week to it, I think it will become stable.
Very samey.
And I think I think when we go, it won't just be we'll take the M2 today. We might take the 4, or might take the Clear, or because the Clear would fit in there.
The Clear would fit in there. It needs a little bit, like you said, we need a little bit of TLC, but it will definitely fit in come probably the end of the summer. Yeah,
probably. Yeah, once it's done. But yeah, overall. It kind of restored
our faith in the car scene.
Yeah, exactly that.
Because I didn't see anyone saying, "Oh, why haven't you done this? Why?" Which was what we spoke about last week.
The toxicity
that wasn't there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, maybe that toxicity is just a social media thing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe people aren't like it face to face, which is
I don't think people are, because I think generally people would be scared to say that to someone's face for fear of getting knocked out, potentially, you know?
Yeah, I think you probably...
You say it to the wrong person,
right.
and, you know...
You ended up waking up on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I think we said last week we will revisit at the end of the show season. So I think we definitely will.
Well, you know, what we've done now is we went to a meet and made real poor judgment call on our part to turn away straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
We went to an organised meet.
Yeah.
We will go to another meet that this club
We'll go to another dub club. We'll go to
almost stock or whatever it's called there.
We'll go to the almost stock one, which is the one we drove away from. We'll definitely revisit that.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of...
We've got Ultimate BMW
which we'll be going to. We've got a couple of others. We've got an open day to go to.
I need to get booked onto some more shows, to be honest.
And then we'll be revisiting the car scene, and we'll revisit the vlog on how much it has changed and what we think has changed, and has it changed for the better, or has it really changed at all?
But again, as we say every week, and I know there's only a few of you that watch this, but as we say every week, please let us know what you think to the car scene has changed.
Yeah, your opinion matters.
Do you still go to meets, to cruises, and they're not really cruises anymore, but whatever. Do you go to those, or is that something of the past that you don't use or don't do anymore? And what stops you from doing it if you don't go anymore? And what keeps you going if you do go?
Yeah.
But yeah, please get involved. You know, any topics you want us to talk about. This is we've gone down this rabbit hole just because it's where we are time-wise.
Yeah, it's just where we are in our...
You know, and there's obviously there's been a bit of a gap with the Formula One, so can't really talk about that at the moment. But yeah, there's plenty more to come, plenty more content to come from us as well. That's not just going to be a talking heads video, as it were.
Yeah. We've got some vlogs to do. We've got a lot of stuff planned behind the scenes.
A lot of work to get done.
But yeah, so it's going to be a busy summer.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
plenty of content to come for you guys. All you need to do is obviously like and share the videos and subscribe to the channel. And it's free. Costs no money.
Yeah.
So no brainer, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again next week. Take care.
Take care.